Okay. Now, the tatting that I made is specifically to fit just this size. So I tatted it for just that particular width right there. Okay? And to get it on the paper so that you're not like gluing it down and taking away all the dimension, I took a strip of the Raspberry Ripple and I ran it through my crimping tool just to make it a little bit softer. And I punched a hole every 1/2 inch. And now I'm just going to take a needle and thread. And I'm just going to, that'll be the front. And I'm just going to come over here to the first hole. And I'm going to pick up my little, these little sticky up parts are called picots. I'm going to pick up the first one, like that. And then go back down the hole. Okay, come up the next hole. And pick up the picot. And I'm just going to do that across the piece. So I'm not going to stop the video so you can just do it along with me, or put on your own lace if you have some vintage lace that you've purchased. I will have these particular pieces available in my Etsy store along with some other edging, tatted edging. And for you tatters out there who have found this video because you Googled things that have to do with tatting, this is called Hen and Chick. Everybody that learns how to tat, this is the very first pattern you learn. And I actually learned this pattern 30-something years ago from my mother-in-law, and now a friend of mine and I, Janice, are trying to bring back this art that is dying. No one is doing tatting anymore, well, at least not like they used to. There's a lot of tatters out there, but it is one of the arts that's going to be lost if nobody tries to preserve it. So we're going to try to preserve it by learning it and maybe teaching it to someone else. Okay, so I've picked up all my little picots. See? Now I'm just going to take my string and just kind of pull it taut, because I want the little picots to come through the back like that, poke through the holes, so that it's nice and on there. And it'll, when I lay it down, they'll all be basically in the same place. Let's get that one pulled out just a little bit. Okay? And I'm just going to put some snail here. Just stick my end down in it and trim that off. And now that's ready to put on the front of my card. And that's going to need, of course, to be put on with something heavy duty like sticky strip or score pal tape. And I'm actually going to use score pal tape. And I don't have the big tape out, so I'm just going to use a couple pieces of this 1/8 inch. You could use the 1/2 inch, because this is a 1/2 inch strip of paper. But I'm just going to put this right over the little picots that are sticking up so they won't suck themselves back down into the card. And then just another little piece to kind of hold it down in the front like that. Make sure there's some on the ends. Okay, and then we're just going to peel off that backing. And lay this down on our card. And I want this just to be just above the bottom there, about like that. And just make sure your paper's straight. Okay. And just fold those ends over, stick those down really good. You can put some regular Scotch tape over that, or stick it down really, really good. You can trim off that knot now that it's stuck down. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Now this will be a card, of course, that they can never, ever, ever throw away. So you want to make sure it's held together nicely in case they want to frame it. And now we're ready to mount our oval, and I've just put dimensionals all around the top. I didn't put any on the bottom where it's going to overhang the tatting here, because it'll be sticking up too much. The dimensionals that are there help kind of level it out with it laying on the tatting. But I did put a little bit of tape there so that when I put this over it, centered, and I'm going to put it down to right, I don't want to cover up my pearls because that's pretty. I'm going to go right down to that area. Let's quit moving, like so, and just stick that down. Okay. Now that's ready to be placed on your card front. I used the word window punch and just stamped my sentiment on the scrap corner of the watercolor paper after I cut my circle out, my oval out. I just used a little corner down here that was left over. It's going in the trash. To stamp the sentiment, punched it with the word window. The ribbon is just folded, you know, like the breast cancer fold, and then you just place it in the little legs of the brad, and I just put my little tatted circle thing on the brad before I laid my ribbon down into the crevice of the two prongs. Then you just fold one prong one way and one the other like that so they overlap, and we're going to stick that on with regular glue dots, and that'll just be stuck right there. And the little butterfly, I couldn't find my little, there's a stamp that you can stamp that goes now with this mini butterfly punch, but I couldn't find the stamp. I know I have it, but I didn't know where it was, so I just used my big butterfly stamp that came out of the Hope stamp set, and then it made all these little veins, and then I just cut it out of it. It was just a little tiny butterfly out of a big butterfly stamp. And you can add something nice to the inside, but that's a very vintage, very feminine card. I think this would make a lovely sympathy card if you wanted to, you know, just have the little word window there, maybe say with sympathy, and maybe hang something, a little safety pin that says friend or something like that off of it. But that's our card for our first card for this month. I hope you enjoy.